This question says, where must an object be placed in front of a converging lens in order to obtain a virtual image? Okay, this is a little bit tricky. So we're going to have a converging lens. We're going to have an object, and it's going to have some focal length. And we want to know how far away from the lens do we place this object in order to get a virtual image. So P is going to be greater than 0. We're going to put it on the correct side of the lens. This is our positive side, this is our negative side, but we remember that our object distance is going to be positive if it's on the front side of the lens. Our image, on the other hand, is going to be less than 0. In order to make it a virtual image, we have to have an image less than 0. So our image is actually going to be somewhere over on this side. So our image is going to be a negative value, and that's actually the key. And we know that our focal length is a positive value. Our focal length is greater than 0 because we have a converging lens. The light rays will converge together or come together. So when we look at our formula that we use to solve these problems, we have 1 over P plus 1 over I is equal to 1 over F. And 1 over P, so this says 1 over I has to be equal to 1 over F minus 1 over P. And in order for me to get I to be less than 0, that means 1 over P has to be larger than 1 over F. P is positive, F is positive. That's my only minus sign, which means that P has to be less than the focal length. 1 over, or if this number is large, then P has to be small compared to F. 1 over F is small, F has to be larger than P. And if you don't believe me on that, you can throw in a couple numbers. So 1 over 3 compared to 1 over 2, actually 1 over 2 compared to 1 over 3, 2 and 3. You'll see that it actually works out every time. So we need to be between the lens and the focal point. Has to be smaller than the focal point. We're not to twice the focal point. We're not at the focal point. We have to be shorter than the focal point. So the correct picture for this, if we have our focal points here, is our object would have to be here to get a virtual image, and the virtual image would show up somewhere in the similar location.